Hi, I'm Nurse Carr, and what we're going to be doing today is just doing a few brief reminders of a lot of the stuff that you've already covered in one of your Network of Trust classes, but it is very, very important. We're going to talk about child and infant CPR. So let's start off. First, we're going to deal with the child. Now, the most important thing to remember is that if you find your child with no breathing and no responding, after you shake them, the important thing to do is to call 911 immediately. Yell for help and call 911. Then you want to come, make sure they're not breathing, and begin chest compressions. Heel of your hand right in the center of the child's chest, just like this. So if your child has a small chest, perhaps like a 2-year-old, you may only need to use one hand to get hard and fast in the center of the chest. If your child is a little older, maybe 7 or 8, and maybe a little stocky or so, you might have to use 2 hands to get hard and fast in the center of the chest. Now you say, well, Nurse Carr, how do I know how fast to go? Everybody knows Beyonce and Jay-Z, they and Jay, so let's listen. That would be about the beat that you would want for the compressions. And you would keep doing that 30 times. Next, you need to give your baby some air, okay? So head tilt, pinch the nose, chin lift, and just blow directly into the mouth. Now, the way you're gonna know that your breath is getting in is you're gonna see chest rise. 1 breath, 2 breaths, and right back into those compressions to the beat of Bay and Jay. Okay, so that is compressions and breaths for a child. So now we're going to go from the child to the infant. Okay, now obviously the infant is much smaller, infants being under 1 year old. So how are we going to do adequate compressions? Remember, everything else stays the same. You find your baby unresponsive, you yell for help. You call 911. You come over and you get ready to do compressions. Now, the difference with the infant is that you have an option. You can use 2 fingers, 2 thumbs, or just the heel of your hand. Right again in the center of the chest. Okay? Or you may have the option, or just the heel of your hand. So obviously, on a 1-month-old, you may only need 2 fingers or 2 thumbs. If your baby is maybe 10 months old, a little bit heavier, you may need to do this, just the heel of your hand. And with the breaths this time, a little bit different too. Instead of pinching the nose, you're going to put your whole mouth over the baby's nose and mouth. Notice that chest rise, okay? So that is CPR for the child and for the infant. So let's recap. Remember, first, if you find your child or your infant unresponsive, call 911, scream for help, get yourself some help. Then we're going to do compressions and breaths. 30 compressions to 2 breaths, 30 compressions to 2 breaths, 30 compressions to 2 breaths, whether it's a child or an infant. And how do we know how to do it? Crazy in Love, Beyonce and Jay-Z. Just go to that beat, okay?